Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. My name is Bork. In today's video, we'll be talking about the best characters to pull on for Princess Connect in 2022. So let's go ahead and jump right into this, and huge thank yous to Ristia for posting the EN schedule that we have been closely following. Ristia is an awesome person from KR, but let's go ahead and jump into their Google Drive that you saw here earlier that shows a clear resolution for these images. So all right, let's jump back. So we're here in 2021. Now, really briefly, I want to cover it. The characters that I wanted to pull for were June, and technically speaking, it was Summer Carol right here, and then New Year's Yui. Obviously, I've pulled way more times than like the three of those. It's just something to take into account, all right? Those were like the three must-haves: June, Summer Carol, and then essentially New Year's Yui, because technically you would get Christina within like the New Year's Yui banner. Christina being a must-pull for 2021, and technically speaking, Valentine Cheeser will roll over into 2022. She's gonna be a must-pull unit. We're gonna be going in further detail. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So 2022, a very difficult year for us. Reason for that, there is a bunch of units that are going to be very worthy to pull on. We'll talk about the ones that are budget must pulls, all right? If you're on a budget, you don't have that many jewels to essentially pull on yet because you spent everything, you will not pull on the Mumi banner all the way, all right? That's what I said. Do not pull on this banner just yet. You will actually wait until Summer Saren right here, and that is when you will be pulling. Very similar to 2021, but let's not get confused here. Summer Saren is the first for pulling for budget people, and then after that, it's going to be New Year's Carol and New Year's Kokoro. Those two units, or technically, you could just pull for New Year's Carol and just go really crazy because this is going to be a Festa banner, and it's going to be really amazing because I believe we get the implementation of like when you pull for a unit, you actually get 100 shards on top of it. So it's gonna be very easy to 5-star her, and yes, you want to 5-star her. Really quick, with Summer Saren right here, leave her at 3-star, leave her at like rank 10-1 or 10-2, something like that. She is holy, she is sacred. Do not touch her. If you touch her, you are messing up. Those are the two units right there. Summer Saren, essentially the one that we talked about earlier. Where are you? There you are. All right, Summer Saren, New Year's Carol. Those are the two budget must pull units. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. When it comes to must pulls, this is different. This is like you are pulling, you don't mind spending a little bit of money, it's gonna be okay. Then you're gonna be pulling on Mumi because she is going to be highly relevant, and of course Valentine Cheeser because she is going to be phenomenal for the first year she is out. She is almost irreplaceable in my opinion. Best physical support you will have in the game, at least until Summer Saren appears. Valentine Cheeser, Mumi, and then you'll be pulling on the Rem banner because she is going to be limited. We'll go in further detail and her skills on why, but she is going to be very great at stunning. And then of course Summer Saren, you will also pull for Summer Makoto because she is phenomenal. And then you will then pull Xmas Chica if you don't have her, and then technically New Year's Carol and New Year's Kokoro. Obviously, that is way more than the initial units that we talked about in 2022. It's only going to be, where are you? Summer Saren right here, New Year's Carol. Those are the budget must pulls. And then if you're like on more of a budget, but you can also afford a couple of things, then you'll pull on Mumi, and then you'll pull on Rem, and then you will also pull on pretty much both of the summer units, Summer Saren, Summer Makoto, and then you'll pull on maybe even Nenika if you're feeling like really good about yourself. And then you'll also pull for New Year's Carol and New Year's Kokoro because she is really amazing as well. If you are going to be like, I'm gonna pull on essentially every single character that's gonna be good for 2022, then you will pull for Mumi right here because she is godly. You'll pull for Kasumi because she is actually really good for, I believe, PvP. There's some mechanics with her that are really good. And then you also pull technically for Kuka Edo because she is probably the best magical tank that we'll have in the game for the entirety of Princess Connect in my opinion. She's just really that good. And then you will also pull of course for Rem ReZero because she's probably not going to be appearing again as far as I know because of IP rights and stuff. And then Amelia ReZero because she is pretty good for Arena, and obviously, you know, a character that we won't be seeing often. Remember, you're just pulling because this is like some of the okay, really good banners that you can technically pull on and not feel bad for. Summer Saren, of course, Summer Makoto, Summer Maho is pretty good as well. Nenika, who is really good, obviously, she's gonna be the best like magical support we'll have in the game for pretty much a long time, if not almost forever. And then Aoi Transfer, she's actually really good. She has a defense break, and not to mention some different mechanics that makes her a little bit better than some of the current defense breakers that we have. And you will also pull on the Luna banner because she is really amazing. She has some mechanics that are pretty good for Arena, I believe. And then you'll also pull on Christmas Chica. She's really good for Clan Battle. And then you'll pull for New Year's Carol, New Year's Kokoro. If you don't have Niuzui, then you'll pull for Niuzui. Obviously, that is if you're pulling for every single quote-unquote like really good waifu going through the year of 2022. It is very stacked compared to 2021. Technically, the must pulls were like, I guess, June, and then sort of like Kyoka, and then like Summer Carol, sort of Tamaki, sort of Tomo, and then sort of Christina, and then Shinobu, and then Niuzui, and then Valentine Chizuru. Comparatively, I would say 2022 is a much rougher year. There's so many good units in this like sort of bracket. It's just something to sort of cover. And then don't worry, 2023 is nowhere near as stacked in my opinion, mostly because like Summer Pecorine or Princess Pecorine is going to be really good, sort of like a must-have for newbie units and in some cases. And then technically the next one to pull on is going to be Princess Kokoro in my opinion. She's actually really godly. And then after that, you know, if you don't have Summer Saren already, pull for her. And then after that, you could technically just wait and chill for quite some time. I don't think like 2023 was like that stacked for like as far as like, hey, you know, these are a bunch of units that you need, like Labritha being like one of the best characters too. But a majority of the characters that were good in 2022 will carry you over into 2023. And like I said, like the must pulls, like if you're really budgeting, is Summer Saren, New Year's Carol. Let's talk about some characters really quick because we didn't go over in enough detail for some of them. Valentine Chizuru, in my opinion, is probably one of the most necessary characters that we need to pull on. We'll talk about a must pulls I'm going to be pulling. The reason why she's so necessary is because she has a field effect that is really insane. She's going to be increasing physical attack power, physical crits, not to mention giving you TP increases, and then she also has a HP recover plus a TP recover on her skill 1, and then her skill 2 has a physical defense break. She is actually insane. All right, so this is gonna be one of the characters that you're gonna want because she does everything. She does a defense break, she does TP boosting, she does, you know, crit boosting, attack power boosting. The only issue is obviously she's for physical units, and she's also doesn't have a barrier and she doesn't have attack speed. That's where she falls short comparative to like, you know, Summer Saren and Princess Kokoro in the future. But just know, this is a powerhouse unit that can technically go on a lot of teams, if not almost every physical team, until the appearance of Princess Kokoro pretty much rolls around, or Summer Saren. But the next couple of months, future-proof in some ways for some situations. She is not fully future-proof because of the appearance of Summer Saren and Princess Kokoro dethroning her from one of the best physical supports in the entire game. But just know I'm pulling on her because she's amazing. Next character, Mumi. This character I would say is really good. Just note that she has very difficult capabilities of acquiring her UB. The reason for that is she does not charge her UB very quickly, so she is highly dependent on characters like Valentine Chizuru essentially boosting her. And the reason for that is because when she does her Union Burst, she gets like this skyscraper sword or this great sword where essentially depletes her TP gauge. And of course, you know, this is where she goes essentially overdrive and does a lot of damage. Just note that she does high physical damage on her skill 1, and then her skill 2 is also going to be, I'm pretty sure, a physical defense break, as you can see right here. So she is going to be really phenomenal for that. But in my opinion, Mumi is monstrous. She is probably better than Christina in some situations, especially if you pair her with someone like Valentine Chizuru. And the next character, Summer Saren. So we're gonna go over Rem afterwards, but Summer Saren, by far the most broken unit in the entire game. The must-have, like, why is she even a thing? All right, because she is that broken. By the way, leave her at 3-star and leave her at like rank 10. Don't increase her from rank 10. All right, now the reason why she is so phenomenal is because her Union Burst is broken. Increases physical attack power for all allies, increases magical attack power for all allies, and increases action speed. Who increases both physical and magical and does action speed? No one. She goes on every single pretty much party. She is like the best of the best. She is irreplaceable. She is the best character in the entire game. Hands down, must-have unit right here. Not as necessary as Mumi and technically replaces Valentine Chizuru in a lot of ways, but oh my god, she is absolutely godly. All right, Summer Saren just takes the whole cake. Just dump all of your jewels for her. And then here, her skill 1, massive recovery in TP. 345 for all allies. Not one for every single ally. Why is this even a thing? And then once she gets her unique equipment, she's also going to be increasing their physical and magical attack power. So she's just broken. All allies will essentially get their UB almost, and then also get an increase to their physical attack power and magical attack power. And then her skill 2, she also increases everyone's physical attack power again and magical attack power power again and increases both physical and magical crits for everyone. Crazy. She is the best support in the game. She is the best unit in the game. There is no one else that can essentially do what she does. She is spamming her UB. That's why you leave her at rank 10, and that's why she's really good. She is so amazing. The best unit in the entire game. I cannot stress enough how she is going to literally break the game when she appears. Summer Saren is the best character in the entire game. Hands down, she compares to no one, alright? As far as being a support goes, she is the best. The fact that she recovers TP for everyone and has all of these attack power and crit and action speed buffs makes her the best possible support in the entire game. Enough gushing about Summer Saren. You already know she is absolutely outrageously powerful. Next characters being Rem. Now, in further detail, the reason why she is so good is because she has a freeze effect or incapacitate effect on her UB. So everyone is going to be essentially getting hit by this in arena, making her essentially able to be like Tsumigi, except better. Because you already know how Tsumigi incapacitates or stuns characters. Well, Rem will do that with even more damage. Think of it as an upgrade Tsumigi in some ways, except she doesn't do a pull, but Rem's gonna be really good at that. Not to mention, she has another freeze on her essentially skill 1 right here on one enemy, which is really good. And then her skill 2, she's gonna be restoring some HP with the lowest HP character. But honestly, she's probably going to jump in there with her freeze, and then you have someone like V-Shizuru essentially buffing her, and then she will cast her UB almost instantaneously, and you win the fight. She's really good. Now, as far as everything goes, that's her main squeeze. She's gonna be a PvP unit, and not a must pull, but a very good unit for arena, especially for her time frame. Amelia, not as necessary because she's kind of weird. She does this thing where she recovers like some HP, increases physical and magical defense power. Why do you need that? I guess for some PvE situations. And then she inflicts some magical damage on one enemy, further increases her magical attack power, which is okay. And then her skill 2 is going to be small single magic damage to random enemy characters, which is essentially, it's okay. It's kind of okay. She's like a single target wannabe healer, like buffer. She's kind of topsy-turvy. I wish she did more DPS or focus more on support, but honestly, she's a pretty cool unit, not to mention she's a collab limited unit. But honestly, speaks for herself. Which one is the better character meta-wise? Obviously going to be Rem, but if your waifu's Amelia, I completely understand, but I'm definitely team Rem. Maybe that's why there's some bias in this review. The next character to technically pull on, we've talked about Summer Saren. We're gonna talk about Swimsuit Makoto. This is essentially Makoto, but better. She has a defense break on her UB with some parameters around it. Just note that there is a physical defense reduction, as you can see with her UB. She's gonna have a physical defense reduction on her skill 1, albeit it's a little bit exasperated on the explanation and everything. It's a little bit much. And then her skill 2, she's going to be increasing attack power. And then she can also do some like canceling effects, which is kind of weird. But at the same time, just note, Summer Makoto is essentially Makoto, except better at doing defense breaks, and very interesting and awesome unit, like art-wise. I love it. Probably one of my favorite art like units as far as like everything goes. But yeah, you can see here, she's just gonna be a defense breaking machine, and that's why you essentially get her. I highly recommend her. I just wanted to cover at least the first couple of units, being Summer Saren is the best unit in the entire game, and she's the one to really pull for on 2022. Honestly, just ignore everything that I said and just make sure you have enough jewels for Summer Saren so your life will be much easier in Princess Connect. No, we don't have any heavy hitters. As far as the only heavy hitter is going to be Nearest Carol, because she is going to completely demolish the game. As far as like, hey, what is meta? Physical or magical? It's magical, baby, and it's going to be Nearest Carol every single day. That is going to be a longer overview on like the best characters for 2022. In my regards, is it going to be a difficult year? Oh hell yeah, this year is very difficult. But the thing is you can technically budget yourself around Summer Saren, like I said, and Nearest Carol and be perfectly fine. But the thing is, try to pull for Mumi, try to pull for Valentine Chizuru, and then save until summer, and you'll definitely be good on that front. There's going to be a lot of banners. You can, rewind the video in case you want to look at them. I think you guys already know what are the characters that I'm going to be pulling for. Pretty obvious. If you don't know it already, it's 100% going to be the Summer Saren banner, the Nearest Carol banner. Like, those are the ones. But I'm gonna be pulling, next couple weeks, I'm pretty sure, or at least next month, with like the January banner with either Valentine Chizuru or February. I'm pretty sure it's gonna land on February, all things considered, because they seem to have pushed everything back by a month. But let's see if I can win this fight right here. I'm kind of curious. I didn't bring, like, my magical unit is obviously Ilya, but I'm kind of curious if we can actually get through everything because I'm really worried about the Miyako on their side. She's probably, or did I kill the Miyako already? I guess we did. The Sumigi might be dealing some damage to us, but we're okay. Honestly, look how thick Pecorine is. She is so insanely powerful considering what she was at the very start of the game. If you're wondering, if you're a newer player, hey, is it okay for me to jump into the game? Newer's Yui, best character, like one of the best characters for, you know, newer players, especially jumping into the game. Like, now's your chance. Not to mention, most of the characters for 2022, they're the ones that are more meta-fining. 2021 is the year that you save up for your jewels, to save up for your pulls. And then 2022 is where everything really heats up. Things get a lot harder. Things will be frequent on must pulls. I know, like, technically I gave you a budget option, but the budget option where you only pull for Summer Saren and technically New Year's Carol, I don't advise that because you're not gonna have as much fun essentially in the game because technically Kasumi is really good, Edo Kuka is really good. There's so many characters that I said are really good, and we're not gonna be wielding this arena fight. I'm pretty sure I could have, you know, positioned things a little bit better, but Pecorine honestly gave me a run for my money here. I should have probably not used Arisa for this team. It would have been a lot better, but yeah, that was this fight right here. If you took anything away for 2022, it is a very stacked year. Summer Saren is the best unit that you have to pull for. I'm pretty sure I went on like a rambling for at least a minute or two, just focusing on Summer Saren. And I didn't cover New Year's Carol, go more in depth. She's like a year out. We have so much time before we actually look at her. Mumi, Valentine Chizuru, I highly recommend for 2022. Anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 30,000 subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day and see you guys in the next one.